Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we're going to be talking about PlayStation, who currently are in some pretty hot water, not only internally but externally as well. If you're watching this video, you probably are well aware that as of me making this video, PlayStation Network has been offline for almost a full day, which is pretty weird. It is actually, as I've checked now, the second longest downtime in the entire history of PlayStation Network. Millions of people are confused as to what's going on. Nobody really has a solid answer. Sony is not really making any sort of effort to communicate with the fans and the customers, so we're all sitting here just kind of wondering like when this shit is going to come back online, what exactly the problem is in the first place. We're kind of just left in the dark on this entire thing as of right now, so obviously many people, myself included, are pretty frustrated over the entire series of events that has happened in the last day. Yesterday afternoon, after I got done, making videos and doing my normal work and routine, I sat down on my living room couch, turned on my PlayStation 5. I just wanted to play some college football before I went ahead with the rest of my evening, and as I sat down to turn on the PlayStation, I was really confused why I couldn't sign into the EA servers. I was like checking my Wi-Fi, making sure that the internet was on and everything. Well, it turns out that at about, of course, the time that I wanted to start playing the fucking PlayStation in the first place, the entire network just went down and it hasn't come back up since. So anyone trying to like log into PlayStation Network, play any online games, even like trying to play single player games that require for you to have an online connection to validate the license or whatever, right? People are having a lot of trouble playing games on PlayStation right now, which is very ironic because the tagline for PlayStation is play has no limits, okay? Now, according to what we're seeing here today, I think there might be a couple of limits in place on when you can and can't play video games, and I'm gonna just spend this video not only ranting at Sony for this and their fuck up, because at this point, it's a fuck up. I mean, it is what it is, but I'm also going to explain why it's such an issue, because I know it sounds like such a first world problem when you're like, oh, but my video game service has been offline for a day now, right? But there really is legitimate issue with this, right? There is legitimate concerns and problems to be had. So obviously anyone who has PlayStation Network is well aware that in order to play video games online or, access the online services really in any meaningful way, you have to pay for a PlayStation Plus subscription. Now, back in the day, this was not a requirement to play online on PlayStation, back in the PS3 days, but for the PS4 and PS5 generations, it's been a requirement. And the whole point that Sony makes when it comes to why they transitioned to a paid online service was that, we have to pay for service, we have to pay for the maintenance, the upkeep. Obviously, if you're going to use like cloud storage or downloading games, we got to fund all of this stuff. And so you paying us a monthly fee or $80 a year or whatever, right? It actually helps us keep things secure and running fine, but ironically, it doesn't really seem to do so because, like I said, the whole fucking service has now, it's now been offline for a full day, pretty much, and I think the worst part about it is that Sony refuses to give any meaningful update on the situation whatsoever. Now, when reports first started kind of coming in that, PSN is down and whatever, they did announce that, oh yeah, some people are having issues signing in, the like typical fucking corporate bulletin to let you know that, oh yeah, we're aware of the problem, we're investigating, we'll keep you updated. But of course, they have not kept anybody updated on what's going on. So now there are millions of people who pay monthly to play the PlayStation online and, get basically full access to their fucking PS5, PS4, whatever, right? Who literally just have basically the equivalent of a fucking toaster sitting in their living room right now. Now, me personally, I mostly play my video games on PC. I hate to be like a PC master race kind of person or a person who really even contends in the console wars because I think as a overall point, it's pretty fucking stupid. But these are the times where I'm glad that like I really did transition to PC gaming because in the decade or so that I have actively used Steam pretty much every day, I can think of like maybe 3 or 4 times ever that there was like any sort of major downtime. Now, keep in mind, if this was like a 45-minute downtime for PlayStation Network or whatever, is that annoying? Sure, but is that like a real problem? I don't think so. Like I said, every service, they have downtime. You got to maintain things. Obviously, some issues are going to just jump up in the way anyway, no matter how much prevention you do, but most of these online services never go down for a day. Like I said earlier in this video, I'm pretty sure, this is now the second longest, I guess, downtime in the history of PlayStation Network. Now, for all my OGs out there who had PS3s growing up and whatnot, right, you may remember all the way back like 15 years ago at this point when PlayStation Network was hacked by a third-party group. Tens of millions of people's accounts and their information were compromised, and PlayStation Network was down for like 23 days straight or something like that. Now, obviously, I don't think this situation is ever going to come close to touching that one because, I mean, you gotta think, if it's the second longest shutdown ever for the service and it's barely been like maybe 19, 20 hours now, as of me recording this, by the time it goes out, it'll probably be closer. I mean, damn near a whole fucking month of downtime, that's significant. So the problem is, like I said, no one knows what's going on for sure, and given what happened in the last time that PlayStation was down like this for this long, obviously a lot of people are a little fucking worried. Now, of course, you may also remember, I think it was like 2015, 2014, when Lizard Squad and other DDoSing groups were basically like hitting PlayStation and I think Xbox as well offline around Christmas, but it wasn't like a constant thing. I'm pretty sure it was like kind of up, down, and I think that's why technically this is now the second actual longest outage that we've ever seen for PlayStation. But like I said, it seems like every single time when PlayStation has one of these kinds of issues pop up, it's regarding some sort of like massive security incident. So I've already seen people suggesting that just as like a, you know, an air of caution or whatever here, if you do have a PlayStation account, you probably should change your password just to be for certain. Like, I'm not trying to say that this is for sure what's going on, like there is a data breach or a hack, but given what we know about prior incidents, it may honestly just be for the best. I mean, it is like basic cybersecurity, right? You want to protect your accounts. I think it probably would be for the best. I've also changed my personal password on my account just to, like I said, cover bases just in case, because the fact that Sony refuses to comment on what exactly is going on is kind of worrisome to me and many other people. Now, like I said, this is a legitimate issue that I think highlights several other problems that I've talked about before. I know a lot of other people, we've all talked about this, right? But the first issue that I think this really highlights is the problem with this like online only bullshit where not only do you have to pay to access the online service, right, and play your games multiplayer, but there's entire games coming out now that are single player. They don't even fucking really have any reason to connect to the internet, right? That require an internet connection to play a single player fucking game. And so in situations like this, we're now at this crossroads where if your internet's not working, or even if the billion-dollar corporation you're actively paying on a monthly basis to keep this shit online can't do it, you're basically holding a fucking glorified paperweight, because if they can't access the servers to verify your copy of the game or whatever, you're pretty much fucked. I mean, it was to the point yesterday, like I said, I was resetting my PS5, I was like checking my internet, like, is it fucked up? What's going on? I was simply just trying to load up like college football and shit like that just to play offline modes, you know? And even then, for digital purchases, they verify the licenses and shit. And so there you go. I couldn't even access the fucking game to play it myself. Now, even on PC, you're gonna deal with a lot of these issues too, but that's more of a whole game industry-wide trend that I really wish would be stopped because of shit like this. I mean, how are people supposed to even do anything about this? It's not like it's even on the consumer to like figure this out or fix it. In this instance, the consumer is doing everything right. They purchased the game legally, they're trying to play it legally, they're just trying to enjoy themselves, and the service that they're paying for is the handicap. So unfortunately, they don't grant you like any leverage or leeway or anything when that kind of thing happens, so you're just shit out of luck. And honestly, the fact that you even have to pay to play multiplayer games on console sucks in general anyway. Now, like I said, I get why these gaming companies do this, like for instance, Sony. From what I understand, I don't know if it has changed with the most recent generation of consoles. I'm going to assume not, but when a console manufacturer sells you a video game console for like $300-400, most of the time they're taking a pretty significant hit on that. They're not actually making money off of the console itself that they're selling you. They actually make up the profit that they lose on that by selling you video games or selling you the online membership, shit like that, right? So even though, let's say they lose $150 on selling you a PS5, if you keep it and pay for PSN for like 2 or 3 years, they already profit just off that. And that doesn't even like mention you buying any video games through the PlayStation store or even like a Sony exclusive or whatever, right? So I understand why we're at that point, but like I said, as a PC gamer who gets to play online for free through Steam and all these other services, I think that a lot of people would be at least a little bit less pissed off right now if this were the case. Like, it's really the fact that people are paying for this to not work. And of course, you know, I assume that Sony will try and rectify this by giving people free games or, oh, we'll give you a free month of PlayStation Plus or some bullshit, right? But the problem that I have, because I like PlayStation, don't get me wrong, I don't hate PlayStation. I'm not making this video to like trash, you know, PlayStation or whatever, but honestly, when it comes to all of the online gaming services I've used, PlayStation Network is the least secure. It's the least reliable in terms of like the downtimes and the DDoSings and all this other shit. It really just doesn't make any sense for it to be this way. And we had a gaming industry where it wasn't this way, and people still made money. People were still happy with the games, right? Like, I know that me making this video and saying this is not going to change things, but dude, I really wish we could just go back, if you will. But like I said, Sony needs to say something, because I mean, we're at the point now where, like I said, it's not some 20-minute shutdown where it's like, oh yeah, we had a hiccup, you know, some fucking intern kicked the cable out of the router, shut down the whole network. Nothing like that, man. At this point, it has to be something significant, like something serious is going on, because every minute that PlayStation Network is down, Sony is losing a shit ton of money. I don't see any reason why they would shut their service down this long if it wasn't something significant or maybe something ongoing. I don't know. I've seen people say that it might be DDoS attacks again, but I figure if it were that simple, once again, like, why wouldn't Sony just update everybody like, yeah, somebody's hitting the service offline, we're working on rectifying it. It just, I don't know, something about it all to me seems fishy. As a PlayStation player, I'm kind of worried about it, right? Like, what the hell is going on here? But anyway, with that being said, man, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel, follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at @SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Optimus down below. Thank you to my Watch Optimus subscribers. Your support helps the channel tremendously. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, well, talking about the current PlayStation Network outage and signing out.